Welcome to the Digital Training Enabler, or DTE tutorial. This tutorial provides a brief overview and demonstration of DTE features and interactivity that will help you successfully interact with and navigate through the DTEs for this task. After choosing a DTE lesson and section from the DTE main menu, you are presented with 3 DTE mode choices with different levels of difficulty: Guided Practice, Unguided Practice, and Game. Each of these modes has its own unique but complementary features. We're going to start with the features and interactivity found in Guided Practice mode. These features and respective interactivity will be available upon user selection in the Unguided Practice mode, but their availability will be restricted in the game. The Mission Briefing message box provides a brief overview of the objectives and purpose of the DTE. When you have finished with the mission briefing, select the Acknowledged button to continue. Donning the correct personal protective equipment, or PPE, is an essential part of any task or mission. Selecting the PPE button will open an interactive menu where you will select the appropriate PPE items needed for your task. After selecting the required PPE and then selecting the Apply button, the PPE button will change, indicating correct selections. However, if you choose the wrong PPE items, the task list, action list, and task details will indicate an incorrect selection. You'll then have to try again and will need to make all correct PPE choices before continuing. This message box has the task list and action list. The task list is a step-by-step description of the correct steps or actions you need to perform to complete the DTE, much like a roadmap. The action list provides feedback based on your selection. When a correct task selection is made, the associated task list will go green. When an incorrect selection is made, or was made in the incorrect sequence, the text will go bright red, and you cannot proceed in the DTE in Guided Practice mode. However, if you make the correct selection, the associated task's text goes dark red, indicating you may continue to the next selection. The action list provides feedback after making a selection in the DTE. If a wrong selection was made, the action list text will indicate an incorrect choice and provide direction to help you make the correct selection, usually by referring you to the applicable technical manual, or TM, or other doctrinal references. You can toggle back and forth between the task list and action list to guide you through the DTE while learning the procedures or actions. You can open or collapse the message box by selecting the up and down arrows as needed. The Task Details message box provides additional relevant information for associated items on the task list. It also provides instructions regarding upcoming tasks to continue forward in the DTE. The Task Details box is movable by selecting and dragging. This will come in handy when you need to see something covered up by the box. The Back button has 2 functions. First, it will close an open selected item to enable you to move on to the next task or action. It will also allow you to transition from one view level to another. For example, if you are interacting with an item in an isolated mode and need to interact with another item in the interior of the ROPU, selecting the Back button will jump you back to the ROPU interior, allowing you to work with the second item. Selecting this I button enables the Inspect Mode feature. Inspect Mode allows you to interact with the selected object for a closer look or inspection of that item. For example, if you wanted to read a data plate on a device, first select the I button, then the object. This will isolate the object, allowing you to interact with it in a focused manner. Here, you can move the object in any direction or angle by panning and rotating the object. You can also zoom in on the object for a closer look to read the data plate. To return to your previous view level, just select the Back button. If the Inspect Mode button is active, any selected object will be treated as if it's in the Inspect mode. So if you want to proceed in the DTE, just select the button again to disable the feature. Selecting the World or Globe button will switch you to a top-down view of the DTE's environment. From this position, you can rapidly move from one ground-level location to another. The Gear button opens a Utilities submenu of features, resources, and provides a way to alter settings to include restarting the current DTE or closing it and returning to the main DTE menu. In Guided Practice mode, selecting Toggle Visible Hotspots will remove the visual cues that help you locate interactive items for a task. Selecting the button again will bring these visual cues back if needed. Selecting Toggle Hints in Guided mode will remove the task details and other message boxes from the screen. If you want to have task details reappear, just select the Toggle Hints button again. Selecting references will open a menu of available doctrinal and technical references, such as technical manuals or DA forums. To open a reference, select the title, and it will open in a new window. When you're done reviewing the reference, you can select the X in the upper right corner of the Reference tab to close it, or you can leave it open and simply select the DTE tab, allowing you access to the DTE. The Bookmark button, when selected, opens a pop-up window that will ask you if you want to bookmark or cancel. Selecting Cancel will close the window, and you can continue from where you left off in the DTE. Selecting Bookmark will save your current progress, overwrite any previous bookmarks, and will return you to the DTE world environment. If you end the DTE before completion, when you are back at the DTE main menu, you can go back to the bookmark point in the DTE by selecting the Return to Bookmark button at the bottom. The Settings button opens a graphic menu where you can adjust the DTE's visual resolution and sound volume levels using the scrub bars. You need to select the Accept button to change the DTE's resolution. To change the background color during Object, Inspect, or Isolate modes, select any one of the 6 options to have enhanced contrast. Select the X in the upper right corner to close the Settings menu. Selecting the Reset button will open a pop-up that will ask you if you want to restart the DTE session or not. If you select Cancel, you will return where you left off. If you select Reset Session, the DTE will reopen from the beginning. Selecting the Quit Session button opens a similar pop-up. If you select Quit Session here, the DTE will close, and you will return to the DTE main menu. Again, selecting Cancel will return you to where you stopped in the DTE. To close the Utilities submenu, just select the gear icon again. Selecting the keypad icon allows you to quickly open an interactive object, such as a display screen or control panel. Using this feature can save you time while engaged with DTE tasks. To close the interactive object, select either the back or keypad button. When you complete a DTE, a Finish button appears. Selecting this button will exit you from the DTE to a page that allows you to select Guided Mode again or to take on a more challenging mode, such as Unguided Practice or Game. Selecting Task menu returns you to the main menu if you would like to move on to another topic. Now that you have seen an overview of the DTE controls, features, and settings, let's look at how you will interact with the DTE and navigate through the task to completion. We will first demonstrate from a device that uses a mouse or touchpad interface. To interact with an object, first, place your cursor on the item you want to manipulate. To rotate the object, use the left select on your mouse or trackpad, and you will be able to spin the object in any direction. Moving an object is similar, but instead of left on your mouse or touchpad, you will right select before moving the object on the screen. To zoom in or out on an object, use your device's mouse, trackpad, or other controls designed for that purpose. Often, it's a wheel on a mouse or using fingers on a touchpad to pinch in or out. Regardless of the device's user controls, the zoom feature is handy when you need to read text on an object, as shown here. If you're using a touchscreen device, you have the same interaction features using a single touch capability. To interact with an object, first, select it with a finger or a touch device like a stylus. At the bottom of the touchscreen, 3 buttons will appear: Rotate on the left, Pan in the center, and Zoom on the right. To rotate an object, select the left button to turn on the Rotate feature. Select an object on the screen with a single finger or stylus. You can then rotate it in any direction as shown. To disable the rotation feature, just select the Rotate button again, or another button to change the function. The Center Pan button allows you to move an object on the touchscreen by following the similar steps used to rotate an object. Select the Pan button, then the object can be moved as needed. Zooming in or out on an object is like rotating and panning, but there is a difference in the touch methods, and it's best to have the object centered on the screen. First, select the Pan button to move the object of your interest to the center of the screen. Then, like before, select the Zoom button, but instead of selecting an object, you will trace a finger or stylus up in the vertical straight line to zoom in on the object centered on the screen. To zoom out from the object, you trace down in a vertical straight line. Now that we've covered the guided mode, let's look at the unguided practice mode. The main difference between the two modes is that in unguided practice, some features enabled by default in guided mode will need to be activated. These include the visible hotspot cues and text boxes. To activate visible hotspot queues, open the Utilities submenu and select Toggle Visible Hotspots. If you would like to see the task detail text, select the Toggle Hints button. You can turn off these features by selecting the corresponding buttons again. The game mode is the most challenging mode, and if you can finish a game successfully, you're well on your way to mastering the knowledge and skills you'll need for an operational mission. The main difference in game mode is that many of the features in guided and unguided practice modes are unavailable. In game mode, there is no task list text or toggle visible hotspots, and toggle hint buttons are deactivated. As in unguided practice, you will have to use the manipulation controls of your device or touchscreen to change your POV to interact with objects for a given task or action. However, you do have access to all the doctrinal and technical materials available under the Reference button in the Utilities submenu. When you start the game, your performance for accuracy and speed are indicated in real time by this health bar at the top. If you make too many incorrect choices or take too long to complete the game, you will fail the DTE. Another feature in game mode is an after-action review, or AAR summary, of your performance during the game. Each incorrect selection is shown, and you can select this button to only see incorrect selections or see all interactions you made. Successfully finishing a game results in achieving challenge coins based on performance. Coins are earned for completion, accuracy, and speed. Meeting the highest standards for accuracy and time results in a mastery level coin. To save or print the results of the AAR, select the printer icon located in the upper left corner and follow the instructions. This concludes the DTE tutorial. Should you need to review this information later, it is always available on the DTE main menu.